Hello, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube. I am Clementine, and as always, I am Super Saiyan. But never mind that. This video is brought to you by Raid Shadow. No. Hell no. I will only ever promote or recommend something on this channel that I believe would be interesting or beneficial to my audience. So, in this video, I'm going to show you how to get Cork Sniffer cables for Pawnshop prices. If that sounds like something you might be interested in, stay tuned! Bean footage. Before I even start this video, I have to thank the person that made this possible, Guitar Grader. Through some reviews that he did on his channel and correspondence between him and myself, I discovered Pig Hog brand instrument cables. That's a funny name in it. And I'm gonna let you guys know straight up front, they are not paying me to do this. I have absolutely no stock in the company, and there's no special link that you can click that's gonna get me any money. This will be an honest review, and as you will see, I'm gonna do some things that would probably piss the company off. But I felt that it being a good bang for the buck product, it would be really good for this channel, for this audience, and really in keeping with what I do here. And that is exactly what I said in the email that I sent them asking if I could do a review on a couple of the cables. As you see here, no joke, no BS. If Gibson tried to send me a brand new Les Paul, I would not review it on this channel. I would not take it. That type of super exclusive, prohibitively expensive kind of thing, it has nothing to do with what I'm doing here. Well, I mean, maybe I would, so I could break the headstock off of it with 2 fingers and show you how that works. Either way, let me show you what we're doing today. This is the Pig Hog 10-foot, 1/4 inch straight to 1/4 inch straight, 8mm instrument cable. And you can see on the packaging it says tour quality instrument cables, and that's, anybody could say that, but in reality, Saliva uses these on tour. These are also used by Kingfish as well as Steve Vai. So let's snap this thing out of here and take a look at it. Well, the first thing that really stood out to me, besides of how heavy and sturdy this is that they actually have their brand name printed on the wire, on the cable. This tells me that instead of just taking a stock random oxygen-free cable and making up some guitar chords with it and selling it rebranded, they're in control of this manufacture of this cable in some way. And also, this cable feels really squishy and super flexible. Like, this stuff is not kinky, not naughty. It's like you could jump rope with it. You could whip somebody with it. The name brand is also screen printed on these shrink wrapped ends, and you can see this thing's completely sealed up. Also, these end connectors are gold plated. I know that's supposed to do something as gold as a good conductor, but really it just looks real badass. Now, I did mention that this coax is 8mm, and this is what it looks like compared to a regular guitar cord. This is a GH guitar cable. You could see that this is some big, fat, thick stuff. And I actually am familiar with 8mm coax, and I have a piece, as you can see here. But this is not for instruments. This is the spark plug wires for a pro stock drag car. These are for my Impala, and it's made to carry the 42,000 volts from this HEI high performance ignition. So what the hell does that have to do with a guitar, right? Well, the reason that we use that coax on a high performance applications is because it is low resistance, meaning that per foot of wire you'll have less ohms of resistance. And with a guitar cable, that means that it's going to be darker and less gain. So let's test this 8-foot GH cable and see how much resistance there is in both conductors. I put a clip on the end to connect both the conductors. Now that settles out to about 1 ohm per 8 foot. So if this 10-foot cable can meet or beat that, it is technically a better cable. Science! So we'll hook this up, and as you see, it settles out to exactly the same, meaning that this 10-foot cable has the same resistance as that 8-foot cable. But technically, you're only sending your signal through the center, So let's see what that ohms out as. Less than 1 ohm for 10 feet. So that's nice and all, but with what I do here, Who's wondering why I'm trying to sell you on like this $50 Cork Sniffer cable? Well, that's because it ain't $50. It ain't $40. It ain't even $30 or $25. On the Pig Hog website, this cable is $22.95. And here's you a secret. You can find them for cheaper on Amazon. So, I'm not going to pretend to not know my audience and know that a lot of you guys are like me. And you're like, well, that's a good price for that cable, but I'm not trying to make my pencil jealous. It's fat and all, but it's pretty much plain cable. Well, check this out. The Pig Hog Tartan Plaid 20-foot instrument cable. This is a lot more my style right here. If you know this channel and you see that blue plaid cable that I use all the time, this looks like a cord that used to be on my grandmother's heater. But maybe this is not your style. Well, they have a bunch of different colors, styles. You can get 90s on the end, 90s on both ends, bunch of different lengths. They have speaker cables, adapter cables, lighting cables. But y'all know me, I gotta take stuff apart. So I'm gonna screw the end off of this. And I found there was a little clear O-ring in here. I've never seen this in a cable before. This thing seals up when you close it. That's a good attention to detail and good build quality. But time to maybe piss the company off a little bit and take a knife and cut this shrink wrap off here, peel it back, and take a look at these solder joints. Lucky for them, and to my surprise, these are fantastic solder joints. They've been fully wetted, nice and shiny and smooth. I've bought coax and soldered my own cables up before, and they work and all, but the solder does not look nearly this good, and I did it to be economical, but once you buy the ends and buy the cable, it's really not saving you any money. And speaking of that, okay, $22.95 for the 10-foot, and it was like plain cable, just kind of fat. Well, this one's all decorated up, and it's 20-foot, so it should be at least like $44, $46, right? No, I don't know what kind of business plan they got. They kind of screwed the pooch here, but this cable is only $33.95. Can't argue with that. Take my money. So, before I go, I want to show some real world results. And I could plug these into the amp with the guitar and play, but over YouTube you probably wouldn't hear much of a difference unless I use like this 120-foot Yamaha cable that I got that just totally sucks the hell out of the tone, and that's not very honest. That's some of that crap that they do on these big guitar channels when they're getting paid. So what I'm gonna do is take this little practice amp that I know is noisy, and I'm gonna crank it all the way up and put the distortion on, and then hold the end of the 8-foot GH cable on the ground part and see how loud it is, and then I'll switch to the 10-foot Pig Hog cable and see if I can tell a difference. Well, there you go, guys. There wasn't a major difference, but on my meter, I was seeing about 3 dB difference. So the Pig Hog cables are definitely grounded better. Well, I hope this helped somebody out there, maybe showed somebody that they can afford what they thought they couldn't afford. Thanks again to Guitar Grader and Pig Hog cables. I do hope they're not super pissed, but luckily it all worked out pretty good. That's lucky for them, because I was going to show what happened regardless. They just make a damn decent product. I can't wait to show you the next one. They make something that I've never seen anywhere else. I can't spoil it. It's badass. The most badass guitar cable I've ever seen. If you found this educational or entertaining in any way, please like and maybe subscribe. I'm Clementine. You've been watching Heavy Metal ATC. Till next time!